Okay, so I just want to show off my new watch right quick. Um, I'm so crazy about this watch. So before I start talking about it, let's just have a little view of it in action, or a little bit of different lighting. So yeah, just absolutely stunning to me. Obviously this is one of my favorite watches of all time, which is also a good reason to get a watch if you have that kind of feeling towards a special timepiece. That's definitely the one you should try and get. So so what is this? This is the Tissot Powermatic 80. This is actually the first edition of Tissot's Powermatic 80, where it has 80 hours of, what is that, power reserves for this automatic watch. So this is a little bit of an older model, you could say. I guess it's from 2012. And the reason for me making this little presentation here is actually that I couldn't find any other videos on YouTube for this exact watch in this exact color. So as you can see, now you have had a good little opportunity to look at it. So let me try and explain why this timepiece is just so special to me. So first of all, what are some of the things you noticed the first time looking at it? It's probably the deep blue color, right? And then as you look at that a little bit, you probably soon after that notice the reflections going on here. So depending on from where you view it, you get different effects here. So here we have a darker blue, probably somewhat representative of how the timepiece would look using it inside. And here a little bit more of a lighter blue, reflecting the light differently from the inner circle there to the outer ring, which is kind of a brushed steel. So yeah, a little bit lighter here. And another thing you might notice is, if you just take a second to think about it, the numbers, right? So these numbers are actually even numbers, which I find so attractive. And yeah, I just really like the fact that these numbers are even numbers. It's not really that special for a watch. They come in all kind of different sizes and configurations and stuff like that, but I just feel really lucky that this particular watch came out the way it came out. And so what is the third thing? That's probably going to be, I don't even really know if that's the third thing, but another thing is probably that you might notice, if you're into watches, that the numbers and the hands, they are not with what you call it, with lume, so they don't really glow in the dark, which is something I really don't like too much. I mean, it can be done pretty awesomely, and obviously a lot of really high-end watches do it, And on that note, also, if you take a look at these hands, they're actually quite thin. They're not really that thick hands, right? So, but even so, here the watch having a little bit of light, it's very easy to tell the time because of the reflections. The whole, I think, the idea behind this watch is all about reflections. And yeah, so let's just see what kind of a lock it's on here. I guess this is a butterfly lock, right? Something like that. Really nothing special. And the bracelet is also not that special, a kind of a brushed stainless steel, I guess, with a line through it in the middle there, which is polished. And here on the sides you have a great detail. If you look at the what do you call those, like I don't really know what to call them, but it's just a great little detail here, and I think it's very subtle just when you're carrying it around, but it's also eye-catching enough to make this the sides of the watch here a special part of the whole design of the watch. And another thing, just a personal note here, is the thickness of the watch. It's 9.75 millimeters, which is quite mind-blowing considering that it is an automatic watch with 80 hours of what is that, reserve on the spring, I guess. So just before we get more into it, let me just pause this video and we'll have a look at the back. Okay, we're back. So yeah, here you can see the backside, which has a little window here, so we can actually get to see what's going on in there. And yeah, I should probably, let me just clean that off a little bit, just a second. Okay, this should be a little bit better. Well, I guess. Yeah, but if you take a look here, you can actually see the movement in there, which is the Powermatic 80. I believe it is the C07.111 movement, and obviously you can get a little bit of action here with the what's that, like the washer? I don't actually know what that's called, but the thing with the little waves on it right there, that obviously that's the one that winds the watch up, right? And we also have some text. Maybe I could take a picture of it and it'll be a little bit easier to watch. So yeah, just a quick glimpse here at the backside, and let's get back into it. Okay, we're back here at the front. So I think I should just talk a little bit about what I think about this particular watch and why I like it. I mean, obviously it's just a very simple watch, but if you know a little bit about watches, you would also know how unique this watch actually is, considering the Powermatic 80, and this would be the first edition of their pretty legendary automatic movement from 2012. I got this brand new. I think it's still pretty easy or possible to get your hands on this timepiece. It's not a limited edition or anything, but it's just it seems like it's quite rare, at least here on YouTube. So yeah, I just think this is just one of the most beautiful watches I've ever seen, and it's just doing its own thing, really. It's not trying to look like anything else, it's just doing its own thing. And yeah, the whole reflections, both inside the watch and inside the dial here, but also the markers, the way they can kind of disappear and then they almost light up from the deeper blue there. Here it's pretty hard to see what's going on with the numbers, but then you turn it and they just kind of pop out. So yeah, this watch is just doing its own thing, and it's very slim, which is also a very important factor for me, considering which kind of watches I want to wear. I don't like very thick watches. That's hard to get under the shirt, I guess. So yeah, I'm just really happy with this watch. And one of the watches I found, which kind of looks a little bit like this, that would be the Omega DeVille in blue. But I'm pretty sure that the one I was watching or looking at is much newer. So that would be like a new watch, probably from maybe last year or the year before that. So this is actually before that Omega DeVille. But there's not really anything too special about the dial or anything. It's not anything new. But it's still just not trying to be something that it's not. And I find that so attractive. And also just looking at the watch, it's just so inviting and so it's like a breath of fresh air, right? It's not a smartwatch. It's not a chronograph, and it's just very simple Tissot watch. And yeah, I just can't say enough about this timepiece here. I just think it's so beautiful. And yeah, I just think this watch has such so much character to it. It's very what would that be? It kind of flies a little bit under the radar, but if you just take a look at it and get to study it a little bit, you actually are pretty amazed by even the looks of it. And yeah, I think this is probably the most amazing entry-level watch you could possibly get right now. Also representing the Powermatic 80, like the first edition of the Powermatic 80. I just think this is a legendary watch. So I hope you enjoyed this, and let me just get a few pictures here. And if you have any questions or anything, let me know what kind of watch you want to rock, and what kind of watches speak to you. I'm not really huge on watches or anything. It's not like I would want to go out and buy a watch for like I don't know, probably even just $10,000. That's not something I would do. But with this watch here, this is a very unique timepiece. That's the best way I can put it. You just get so much out of it. I mean, it's just pretty crazy that they would actually be able to make this. The thing that would come close to this watch in Tissot's catalog would probably be the Tissot Gentleman and the Le Loch. I guess this would actually be the city of Le Loch. And yeah, it's just around maybe that $700, $1,000. So that's probably the class you would put this in with. But I just think this watch, it just speaks to me, man. It's nothing much going on here, and the dial is a little bit toned down, and there's no lume in it. It doesn't light up in the dark, and no chronograph, and no nothing. It's just what it is. And I feel like this watch is being itself fully. I mean, it's not like, oh, I'm trying to do this or I'm trying to do that. It's just, I'm doing what I'm doing, and I'm doing it like perfectly. Even to even the insides of the watch. I mean, the movement inside, it's just so special. And yeah, I think that's enough for me about this watch. I just wanted to show it off. Hopefully make it a little bit more accessible for the watch enthusiasts on YouTube. Let's see if I could just release it without throwing it on the ground. So yeah, just a little walk and talk, if you want to say it like that. And yeah, let me know what you think, and if you like this video, make sure to leave a like. And yeah, I have a few other watches. It's nothing really, I don't want to talk about those in this one. I just want this video to be all about this Tissot Powermatic 80. This is actually called the Luxury Powermatic 80. So there's that. Luxury Powermatic 80. And yeah, it's 50 meters waterproof or water resistant, and the dial is, I guess the outside of the dial is, I think it's 41 millimeters, and the lock to lock would be like 47 dot something. So yeah, it's very wearable. Let me just try and put it on. You can see how it looks on my wrist. Okay, so here we are on the wrist. So yeah, I think I'm pulling it off pretty well. I mean, it's not too big for my wrist, and I found a pretty good setting here for it. So it's not too tight and it's not too loose. That's just the way I want it. I could wear it here. It's a little bit tight, but you know, that's just a matter of getting to know your watch and getting the feel for it. And it sits really low. I mean, it's really not a thick watch or anything. It just sits so nice. And as you can see, I can hold it like this, and then it kind of runs down my arm. But I'm pretty sure this would be perfect for when the summertime hits. And I don't think I would have to add another link to the watch, even with this setting. I'm pretty sure that this would be fine for the summertime as well. It's getting a little bit colder here, and I haven't been out training or anything, so my wrist is probably at its smallest, what is that, diameter right now. So yeah, a little bit to give, and that should be perfect for when I'm out running or training or whatever I'm doing. And yeah, I guess that's all. I hope you enjoyed this. To me, very, very legendary timepiece. I mean, I just can't say enough good things about this watch. I just think the reflections of it, and it's just so romantic and charming, as I see it. So yeah, thanks for watching, and peacers.